Alright guys, I've got a bundle here that I picked up from Goodwill. This entire thing cost me 45 bucks, which if this Nintendo GameCube here actually is in good condition and functions, that's going to be a great deal. There's only one way to find out. We've got to open this up, see exactly what we've got, and I really can't determine the condition through here. I can see that it appears to be in good shape, but we got to open this up and see what we've actually got. So I'm going to set the console aside for right now. I want to take a look and see if we have original cables here. This is obviously a third-party controller. It does seem to function quite nicely. Definitely got yellowing, to say the least. But what is the brand? Intech, which was actually very prominent for third-party controllers back in the day. Function on here seems to be actually quite good. This actually feels a little bit small, if anything. Very compact controller, as opposed to even your third-party controllers that are lined up in the exact same scale. This one definitely seems much smaller, but if it functions, it functions. We'll have to test that out, but let's take a look at our cables. So this, I can tell right off the bat, is an original power supply cable from Nintendo. We have the Nintendo GameCube logo right here on the top. And it appears that we do have some original AV cables as well, but we're going to take a closer look. Yes, they are original. It says Nintendo right on here. So I'll separate these out. Not seeing any damage. Everything actually looks really like it's in great condition here. So let's test out this GameCube console. But we'll take a closer look at it first, and it does seem to be in actually really great condition. Now, the Platinum GameCubes do show blemishes, a lot more than obviously the black ones or the indigo colored ones, but the downside is you can't really scrub these because the finish will actually come off, especially down here on the edges. The corners, actually, there's a few spots here where it does seem to be dinged up pretty good. Now, we just have the analog AV out here, so this isn't the most desirable model by any means, but hey, if it functions, and that is the end goal here. But we can take a look at the ports down here. You can see the third port here. There's actually nothing underneath the cover, which is standard for this particular model. Just want to see what the condition is like underneath there. Everything seems to be in great shape. Sides, just normal wear and tear on here. Some of this stuff we can clean off, but a lot of it's just going to, remain on there. Now, there is a little bit of yellowing on the slot A and slot B memory card flaps there, but everything that I can see is in good shape. I'm not seeing any buildup of dirt, just a little bit of dust on the bottom side of the controller ports. Let's pop the top. Looks to be in good shape in there as well. A little bit of dust, but really not a nothing major there at all. I'm really impressed with that. So we're going to make our connections on the back side here, and hopefully this powers on and functions. Now, when I picked this up, they didn't have any games, so they couldn't function test it, but they did say that it was power tested and it does power on, which, I mean, is pretty typical for your GameCube consoles. They usually will power on. The issue, if there is going to be an issue, is whether it actually reads discs. So that's going to be the ultimate test. We'll go ahead and test out this third-party controller. Really not impressed with it, just because, it's not anything that looks, original. If I'm going to go with third-party, usually I would like to go with one that looks like the original controller. This obviously is its own thing, which is fine, but we'll see whether it works or not. If not, I have a bunch of third parties, and I think I actually have a couple originals on hand as well. So everything seems to be good here. I'm just going to go ahead and connect this over to my adapter, which will turn it over to HDMI, so I can actually pull it up on my capture card. And let me find a game for this. We're going to go with Nicktoons Unite, which is actually in horrendous condition on the backside. I just keep this as a way of testing because it does function even though it's in terrible condition. But we'll put that into the GameCube console, and time to fire it up. All right, let's hit the power button and see what happens. Alright, so it powers right up. It says system settings were lost, calendar and other settings were reset. Choose system settings now. We'll go ahead and select yes, but our controller does not appear to work. And I'm going to actually just reinsert that just to verify. Doesn't seem to be there. Hopefully it's not port 1. Yep, does not work. Unless you have to power this on. I forget, some of them you have a... Yep, not getting any juice. There's actually a light on the connection here which does light up, but yeah, nothing is happening. So I think it's safe to say that this does not work, which, you know, isn't a big deal, but let me grab another controller. Alright, we've got a third-party controller right here for GameCube. Now, no big deal that this one didn't work. If I were to list this on eBay, it would likely sell for about 99 cents. It's worth absolutely nothing, so right in the garbage it goes. But let's see what we've got here. This, you can see, is working, both the D-pad as well as the analog stick. So we're going to go ahead and hit yes. And let's see. There we go. There's our game right up there. Nicktoons Unite. And this was the scratched up game, so it seems to be at least registering. Let's see if it launches. Seems to be loading in. So we'll continue without saving. I don't have a memory card inserted in right now.